Today's episode of Andor, episode 4, hints at a very dark event coming later on in the series. One that will quietly change everything for the Rebels and the Empire. I'm talking about the Ghorman Massacre. I'll give you the full rundown in today's video. Hey guys, this is Eckhart Slaughter. Hello and welcome to another video. Let's get right into it without wasting time. The Ghorman Massacre was a very important event in the early Imperial years in Star Wars Legends. It's long been a part of the lore, first introduced in the Rebel Alliance sourcebook, and I'll just summarize the key details for you. Ghorman was a small planet located just outside the core worlds, and the populace was staging a peaceful protest against new Imperial taxes. Specifically, they were sitting on the spaceport blocking the landing pads so that Imperial ships couldn't land. Unfortunately for the protesters, one of the ships was being captained by Tarkin himself, and he decided to just land on the pad anyway, killing and injuring hundreds of people. The Ghorman Massacre, as it would be called, became a central rallying point for opponents of the Empire. It also played a major role in Tarkin's career advancements. Anyway, in Star Wars Legends, this event took place in 18 BBY, and although it has been heavily modified for Star Wars canon, we've seen it adapted nonetheless to the timeline. So far, there's no specifics, but we do know that an event known as the Ghorman Massacre took place in 2 BBY. The event is actually the catalyst for the Star Wars Rebels episode Secret Cargo. That episode starts off with Mon Mothma speaking out against the Imperial attacks on Ghorman, which is when the Emperor has finally had enough of her shenanigans and issues a warrant for her arrest. This has somewhat of the same effect as the Ghorman Massacre did in Star Wars Legends, as Mon Mothma officially joins the Alliance openly. And as we see in Star Wars Rebels, this is basically the seeding for a more active rebellion. We don't know the details of the Ghorman Massacre, whether it was Tarkin landing a ship on somebody or just an open slaughter by the Empire. However, Andor gave us some context for what is eventually going to happen. So this is 5 BBY, 3 years before the eventual massacre, and already in this episode, we get a hint that the Empire is treating the people of Ghorman unfairly, specifically that certain shipping lanes are being blockaded. And it's not exactly clear why. This could be an early response, maybe to protests against new Imperial taxes as it was in Star Wars Legends, or this could simply be the Empire treating these people completely unfairly. Either way, the result is the same. As Mon Mothma says, people will starve. A big point in Andor episode 4 is that Mon Mothma has to really walk a tightrope between supporting the rebellion and being killed by the Empire's secret police and spies, who are pretty much everywhere. We also know that Palpatine doesn't actually take direct action against her until she calls him out for his actions during the attack on Ghorman. So that's another way of saying we know the point where her cover is blown, and I really think the show is leading up to that point. I think we're going to see the Ghorman Massacre on screen, and I think it'll most likely be during Season 2. We already know that Andor Season 1 takes place, I believe, over a year, and then the format for Season 2 is going to change, with the show being broken up into chunks, maybe 3 or 4 episode arcs, for example, with time jumps between arcs. So I think the Ghorman Massacre could very well be one of those time jumps and arcs. I also think it plays super well into the overall themes of the show. Like, we could see the people of Ghorman finally rise up and actually take violent action against their Imperial oppressors after whatever happens in episode 4, very similar to what we saw in episode 3. People finally getting tired of being under the boot, not only in extreme circumstances like when your town is being shut down, but also in the mundane, the day-to-day shittiness of living under the Empire. I think that would also give a nice opportunity for Mon Mothma's storyline within the show to end. It could even sort of leave us right where Star Wars Rebels starts. That would be nice. Anyway, if you guys are interested, I could take a more detailed look at the Ghorman Massacre, really go into the sources for Star Wars Legends. If you guys think this theory is a good one, that would definitely be a fun project for another video, but give me your feedback down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.